What's up, guys? Chris here from Mainly Mesh. On this Mainly Mesh Monday, I'm going to take you through all the meshes that we offer and explain to you similarities, differences, price points, just let you know what we guys have. All of these are available on our website, www.mainlymesh.com. They're also going to be available in store when we open up on March 8th. Excuse me, I'll talk a little more about that as it gets closer. But yeah, we'll start off. We're just going to go left to right from your viewing angle. Actually, I'll start, how do I want to do this? Start with String King and Otter, and then I'll do the wax meshes. So, you guys all know String King Performance Mesh. You've seen it around, 2X versus 2S. Biggest difference between these is the hardness of it, obviously. So Type 2X is advertised as semi-hard, 2S is advertised as semi-soft. Back with the Type 1 meshes, my biggest issue with Type 1S was that when you strung it up, they're the same diamond size, so they string up very similarly, but when you strung up 1S, it didn't have the same type of hold that 1X did. It was just a little too slippery. And that's what they're calling the pocket focus with this Type 2S mesh. And so now when you string up, you can string up pretty much the identical pattern with 2X and 2S, and you're going to get the same amount of hold regardless of which mesh you have. So they're both pretty awesome pieces of mesh. 2S, like I said, is a little bit softer. That's not what I was trying to say. They're both completely waterproof, weatherproof meshes, so they're not going to freeze, not going to do anything. The normal stuff you guys see with String King. These go for $20 a piece. Then you also have Otter Mesh, which is manufactured by String King. So it isn't the same weave as Type 2 is. This is still the same weave that Type 1 String King was. This is made out of a incredibly durable, completely inelastic material, and so that's the main point I have to convey to you guys, is that when I say completely inelastic, this isn't going to stretch or bag out. It's also not going to have as much give when you're catching as some of these other meshes do. That's why we don't offer Otter Mesh as one of our normal pre-strung meshes, because it takes a little bit more finagling than some of the other meshes do. And some of the patterns don't translate as readily to Otter Mesh because it doesn't stretch at all. On to our nylon-based wax meshes. So one of the main reasons I'm bringing this up is a lot of people have mentioned East Coast Mesh's new base. It's a thing. Okay, I don't need to go into too much detail. 17mm base, same base is used across Ninja Lax and East Coast Mesh, or at least enough so that all of these meshes string the same way, excluding Otter Mesh. So that's really all you need to know about it. I know they advertise as 15mm, but if you've bought a piece of East Coast Mesh, and really any in the last 3 months, it's going to be the new stuff. Don't need to talk any more about that. Just know that it's a larger diamond. It's a great improvement to these meshes. You know, really got me back on the East Coast Mesh wagon, as well as Ninja Mesh as well. So the main point is that these are all going to string very similarly. So obviously your standard East Coast Mesh, with the larger diamond size, it feels that much softer. It's that much more consistent. It's the old faithful wax mesh. ECM black, a little bit harder. Not quite as hard as the old base was. So this is a non-tacky wax mesh, but still I would call it a semi-hard mesh. And then I will go through Ninja Mesh real quick and then explain how all of these wax meshes kind of fit together in a spectrum, which you should stick around for. So Ninja Mesh is very similar to East Coast Mesh, especially now that they're on very similar bases. Just a little bit tackier. So still pretty soft, but definitely a little bit tackier than East Coast Mesh. And then, so if you're going for a lot of grip, you want your standard Ninja. And then a lot of people are asking for ECM Black Soft. Well, Ninja Mesh offers Samurai, which is a non-tacky wax coating, and it basically is ECM Black Soft. So when we're doing a continuum of these, I like to put them out like this, with Ninja Mesh being the tackiest, East Coast Mesh being slightly less tacky. Both of these are pretty soft. Then you have ECM Black, which is your harder, non-tacky wax mesh, and then Samurai Mesh, which is like your ECM Black Soft. So that's how I like to explain these all to people. The wax meshes go for 15 bucks a piece, so they're a little bit cheaper than String King, and a lot cheaper than Otter Mesh, which is $40 a piece. So if you have any more specific questions, that's pretty much just the basics and the most you guys really need to know for now. But if you have any more questions, let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, thanks for watching. Let's hope I can turn off this camera.